Hi, my name is ColdBeer, and let's start with Mafia.
No, please, no!
Definitive Edition.
Remastered and re-released in 2020, the game is a proud owner of a very positive reviews on Steam. He'll take on the role of a mafioso in 1930s city of Lost Haven. It's a fictional place, but it's inspired by the city of Chicago. The town got hit hard by the Great Depression, and the advent of Prohibition in America means lucrative business opportunities for various mobsters. And let's be fair, for some shady old ladies as well who were brewing their moonshines deep in the cellars. By the way, did you know that you have to pour out the first cups of moonshine you make because it's poison? If you drink it, you will die or at least go blind. I've heard that from some master brewer a long time ago, but I can't remember the details. Anyway, as I've said many times before, Prohibition in my eyes is a crime against humanity, so those gangsters are just folks struggling to survive in this authoritarian environment. And now I want to present to you a next-generation turn-based 4X strategy game with real-time battles, which is also a sponsor of this video, Songs of Silence. Here you'll explore handcrafted maps, build powerful armies, and crush your rivals in intense battles where every decision is strategic. You will make up your horse of warriors out of 100 different units and dive into unforgettable campaign or crush your friends in custom multiplayer maps. And the game plays and looks really good. It was nominated for multiple awards, including 2024 Steam Awards in Outstanding Visual Style, and the recent update made the game even better with the first standalone scenario map, first out of many upcoming. Those new scenario maps offer high replayability by throwing at you various challenges to test your proficiency. So good news that Songs of Silence is available for an exclusive time-limited offer on Steam or on PlayStation Store. And remember to use my link in the description to support my channel. The game offers 3 unique factions, each with distinct gameplay mechanics, strengths, units, and heroes, offering various strategies and playstyles. Adventure awaits you in dense forests or towering strongholds ripe for siege. Every map presents new challenges. You will manage resources and rebuild shattered kingdoms. Songs of Silence has a great story-based single-player campaign that spans over 15 hours of intense gameplay and has 3 difficulty settings, so even you can play it. Or you can challenge real opponents in fast-paced online multiplayer for up to 6 players. The game is great and frequently updated. Use the link in the description or in the first pinned comment below to join an active community and have a great gameplay experience right now. Noita. This is the game which will allow you to dive straight into adventure without sinking many hours preparing for battle. Noita is a magical action roguelite game set in a world where every pixel is physically simulated. Here you'll fight, explore, melt, burn, freeze and evaporate your way through the procedurally generated world using spells you created by yourself. So,
Vitus delitus
and
vodcus autus optinus erus
is an option at last. You will explore a variety of environments ranging from coal mines to freezing wastelands, while delving deeper in search for unknown mysteries, and use your magic to crush your enemies and manipulate the world around you. The game is really fun and is a rare owner of overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. That alone should put this game onto your radar. King Arthur, Knight's Tale. This is a cool hybrid between turn-based games like XCOM and traditional character-centric CRPGs. You'll find diverse battle maps where you will have to position yourself to avoid shield walls and flank your enemies. Also use covers against archers, make use of the terrain, hide in the foliage, and surprise your enemies with your endless wisdom. Knight's Tale is a modern retelling of a classic story with a heavy touch of dark fantasy tropes, a twist on the traditional tales of chivalry, and a bearded wizard with a friendly smile. You will encounter nothing like that here. Knight's Tale is grimdark and really refreshing on your eyes tired from all these colorful games nowadays. Although keep in mind that all your characters are expendable and if they die they will stay dead forever, meaning that the game is leaning to the hardcore and may not be very easy for you. Resident Evil 2. This is a complete remake of a classic game. Overwhelmingly positive review score softly hints that it was a complete success as well. Resident Evil 2 offers a fresh take on a classic survival horror saga with realistic visuals, immersive audio and a new over-the-shoulder camera. You will also get modernized controls on top of gameplay modes from the original game. I can still remember when I played the original game when I was 14 years old, and somehow I had my mental balls big enough to play it every evening after school. Well, on those rare occasions when I actually went to school. I'm a YouTuber not because I was very good at studying, you know, but I was good at games. That's why you should avoid me if you need your appendix surgically removed, but if you want your boredom removed, I'm your guy, that's for sure. Tiny and Tall, Gleipnir. This is a very well done, classic yet modern point-and-click adventure inspired by legendary LucasArts games. Here you will dive into the story that revolves around two barely competent and charmingly inept blacksmiths. They find themselves contractually bound to the Norse gods and have to explore this beautifully drawn handcrafted world to find unusual and magical objects. But alas, while they look for these ingredients, the sinister Loki, the trickster god, has his own plans to deal with the fellas. So here you will have to solve puzzles, talk to interesting characters, and live in a world of epic Norse legends. Everything is awesome about this game except one thing. It is called Part 1, but 6 years have passed and Part 2 is nowhere to be seen. Well, let's hope the author is still alive. Or something. Book of Demons. It is a surprisingly good game, ignored by many just because of how it looks. It has great lighting effects, but those paper figures are definitely not for everyone. Anyway, here you can decide the length of the quests, wield magic arts instead of weapons, and slay armies of darkness in the dungeon below the old cathedral. Yeah, I bet you heard that somewhere. People on Steam are talking that Book of Demons has great replayability with a variety of combinations, interesting art direction, and fast, non-boring gameplay. Although some are saying that the game can become a bit monotonous, but I'm pretty sure that it can happen because of the skills and spells you use. If your build is not fun enough, you will get not enough fun. Simple, right? So Google some nice builds before you play. Let there be a bit of Book of Demons among big boobed MILFs in your search history. Anyway, the game has 91% of positive reviews and it's kinda cheap. Sherlock Holmes, The Awakened. If you like Sherlock Holmes and Lovecraftian stuff, this may be your spoon of potato salad. Here you become Sherlock Holmes and find yourself at the heart of terrifying Cthulhu mythos as you investigate a series of mysterious disappearances in Europe and the United States. Those are apparently linked to a dark cult that worships an ancient god. Whatever their plan is, you must put a stop to it, or, you know, face unspeakable consequences. Yeah, all that sounds nice, but can I join the cult? Can I worship the ancient god as well? You know, what if Sherlock decided that his life of investigations is boring and being a servant for a Dagon himself is a more fulfilling experience? I doubt that, but it would be nice if you could actually choose the unexpected way. Chorus. Here you will unlock amazing weapons and mind-bending abilities. Along with your sentient starfighter, visit ancient temples, engage in exhilarating zero-G combat, and venture beyond our waking reality. Explore epic locations such as sprawling space stations and strange planes of existence beyond our own. Engage in dogfights from epic cosmic void to tight crystalline corridors. People on Steam are saying that Chorus is one of the best-looking space games to date, but will make you vomit on your keyboard if you are a victim of motion sickness. If you are in doubt, just download and play Chorus demo on Steam absolutely free. Styx, Master of Shadows. This is an infiltration game with RPG elements, taking place in a dark fantasy universe where you sneak, steal and assassinate your way through as Styx, 200 years old goblin. Here you will be completing various missions and at the same time avoiding detection. Sneak in the shadows, assassinate your targets in close combat, or, you know, orchestrate accidents. RPG mechanics let you unlock new powerful skills, impressive special moves, and optimized equipment that will grant you spectacular powers such as invisibility, which is not meant for any creepy activities you just had in mind. You can also buy second part of the game. It is discounted as well, just be careful don't acquire the collection bundle that includes a DLC. You see, that DLC is just a weapon and an outfit, nothing more. Also, it's not cosmetics only. These items are quite powerful, so in a way it's a pay-to-win DLC. That is a blasphemy beyond any words. Hogwarts Legacy. I had a lot of fun playing this game. All in all, Hogwarts Legacy was one of the few games that actually survived the hype train and never crashed anywhere. The game has above 90% of positive reviews on Steam, and I would give the game 10 cold beers out of 10 without much thinking. The world is very detailed, quests are handcrafted and fun, magic truly feels like magic, and the world is really open. Although the map is shaped like a bow, very narrow and long. But that's maybe a thing of a lore. I don't know, I have never read the books, only seen the movies. movies. Only thing that actually spoiled the game a bit was how soon I got the ability to fly. That absolutely crashed the exploration on footpath. Flying in Hogwarts is awesome, but I would have given this ability way later in the game. The variety of enemies also could be wider, but hey, it's a great game. You have all my recommendations. What remains of Edith Finch? Overwhelmingly positive review score should grab your attention. 17-year-old Edith Finch is the last surviving member of the eccentric Finch family. All of her closest relatives and family have died violently at a young age, leading to rumors about a family curse. Now she's on her way to her Finch mansion, a bizarre ramshackle building hidden deep within the forest of the state of Washington. Once there, she intends to research her family's history and learn the truth behind the alleged curse. While this can sound like a horror game, it's actually just a tale about one family that is more interesting than your family or mine. People are saying that this is more than just a game, it is a unique form of art. Hard Reset Redux. This is an action-packed and hardcore single-player shooter which embraces the best qualities that the genre has to offer. It includes loads of enemies, great weapon variety, a challenging campaign, and a beautifully realized cyberpunk setting. You know, this game is quite cool. If you like shooters, you will probably like this game as well. It's as simple as that. People in comments are saying that the first levels are a bit boring for an experienced gamer, but later it's game on and it's really worth your money. And just look at that price. Any argument against obtaining this gem is invalid. And it has very positive reviews as well. Sea Salt. It's a dark fantasy reverse horror action strategy game with a comfy horror vibe where you play as a nightmarish force of Dagon, the Eldritch God. You will be controlling an ever-growing horde of evil minions. To say short, you are evil and you slay good guys. That is very nice, I like that. Game looks easy at the beginning, you just run after some weaponless guys and tear them to pieces. But later it gets harder and harder.
That's what she said.
And then everything in your control dies horribly. To be short, it's a great game. I have reviewed this game in my channel and back then I gave the game 8 cold beers out of 10, which is a really high amount of imaginary alcohol. Midnight Fight Express. This is a brutal beat-em-up game where you play as a former member of the criminal underworld, lured back into the thug life. Your mission is against impossible odds. You will have to fight your way across the city before sunrise and prevent a citywide criminal takeover. You will engage in a brutal brawling ballet, using every environmental tool and street fighting techniques at your disposal. Tangle with waves of foes with the agility of an action movie master. Punch, dodge, counter, and finish off enemies in fluid and visceral combat. Custom difficulty modes will allow you to play on lowest, known as pussy difficulty, and still die all the time. But don't blame the game, blame your genes or something. People are saying that this is a great game if you like hurting people, and I agree that very positive review score is here for a reason. Outer Wilds. This is one of the best indie games you can find in general. It was named Game of the Year by Giant Bomb, Polygon, Eurogamer and The Guardian, so that alone should grab your attention. If it grabs something else, call the police. Or grab back, I don't judge. Here you are, the newest recruit of Outer Wilds Ventures, a space program searching for answers in a strange, constantly evolving solar system. You will have to gather wisdom for the glory of your nation, because you are the one responsible for exploring outer space. When I played the game, I flew directly towards the sun and died, so believe you me, controlling this spaceship is one of the hardest things you will ever do. Well, I'm probably exaggerating a bit, but it is as difficult as it is fun as well. The spaceship is very responsive, so during your adventures you will have to find out what lurks in the heart of the ominous Dark Bramble. Who built the alien city on the moon? Well, obviously aliens, but you know what I mean. Can the endless time loop be stopped? And why is potato salad so delicious? Answers await you in the most dangerous reaches of space. Game has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, so you can't be wrong with this one. Jurassic World Evolution 2. Here you can build your very own Jurassic Park just like in the first part, but a bit more beautiful, fancier and a bit better. You know that number at the end of the game's name has to mean something, and it means more species of dinosaurs as well, like at least 2. So at first it's all about fun, interesting creatures and happy customers, until some brown substance from the bottom of Beerosaurus hits the fan. And by that I mean that life always finds the way, and that is kinda the opposite of life for everyone else in your park. You may think that the raptors will escape the cage and will start feasting on your customers, but the reality is way more cruel. There's almost no way that the first human eaten in your beautiful park by a potato raptor would be just a terrible accident. You know, the fault of cheap fence or stupid worker forgetting to close the gates. Nah, it will be you. You will save the game and then let the creatures go. Because after a while you will get bored.
And only blood can entertain you.
Druidstone, the secret of the Menhir forest. It is made by the same people who created Legend of Grimrock, so by guys who know how to make a great game. And this game is actually good. If you look at Steam, you will see a very positive review score. Druidstone is set in a unique fantasy world and is filled with standing stones, snow-capped mountains, deadly creatures and puzzle-ridden ruins. Here you will control 3 characters: Ava, Oiko and a man with a name straight from the Pornhub movies, Leon Hard. Anyway, here you will find 35 challenging handcrafted missions with playtimes ranging from 15 to 45 minutes. Well, to not boggle your mind with math, I will say that you will spend around 17 hours if you decide to finish this game until the very end. People on Steam are saying that it is good relaxing experience if you decide to play on easy, and if you want a challenge, the game will provide one as well, so suitable for all skill levels. This is a top-down action roguelite where you dive deep into hostile worlds teeming with viruses. You will encounter increasingly challenging enemies with your weapons and their own deflected projectiles. You will also have to choose one of several bioshells, each with unique weapons, abilities and means of deflecting projectiles. You know, the name of the game is not just a fancy word. It's your profession, I guess. I can even imagine the job listing for the task.
Must have at least 50 years experience of deflecting. Have to speak native level of Spanish, English, Lithuanian, Ukrainian and Mandarin. Must be proactive, must have experience of koala breeding, taming ostriches and at least PhD in quantum physics. Salary €3 an hour.
To be honest, all the job ads sounds this way. So here every world you'll visit is filled with unique hostile fauna, ready to swarm you with their pathetic bodies and stingy bullets. The game is difficult and dying here will be your daily routine. Every enemy is deadly, from the smallest stuff to the imposing apex virus at the end of each world. But don't you worry, you will learn to overcome every foe through trial and error. Well, honestly, probably not, I'm just being nice, but you may have fun anyway. The review score is close to 90%, so if you like the style, think of getting it. Bulwark, Falconeer Chronicles. Here you'll create your own fortified settlements within the haunting and eye-catching landscapes. The core gameplay is focused on wildly building across the rocky cliffs and crags of the world. Light resource management and story elements bring your creation to life, while giving a voice to its inhabitants and allowing you to expand it with exotic new build options. Also, it's not just a simple city builder. The threat is real and the battles will be glorious here. Don't ask why, just look, you will be fighting dragons with airships. How cool is that? The game itself is a spin-off of the Falconeer, a beautiful air combat game created by a solo developer, and this city builder is definitely worthy of your attention. Dome Keeper. Dome Keeper has about 90% of positive reviews, so it is obviously a hidden gem you may want to try. Well, a nice polished rock at least. This is a roguelike survival miner where you will defend your dome from wave after wave of monsters. You will use the time between each attack to dig beneath the surface and search of valuable resources and artifacts, and use them carefully to choose powerful upgrades and bonuses. People on Steam are talking that the game is very polished, rich and imaginative. It's all you need for your free time. Well, this and potato salad. Shadow Warrior 2. You shall need to survive as a mercenary on the edge of a corrupted world. You will wield a devastating combination of guns, blades, and magic. And with these awesome tools, you will eradicate the demonic legions overwhelming the world. You can play it alone or in 4-player co-op. Game features procedurally generated landscapes, powerful new weapons, armor, and arcane relics of legend. You will find an array of over 70 lethal blades and explosive firearms. Choose your weapon based on the situation at hand and then dismantle everything that stands in your path with an advanced gore system.
You don't need to be this intact, kind sir.
The game also has destructible terrain that explodes in satisfying ways. It's like if you put the Borderlands and Doom into the Cronenberg's machine, and the Shadow Warrior would be the result of the merging. The game takes about 8 hours to beat, so the deal is really sweet. Absolutely delicious spoon of juicy potato salad. The Saboteur. A bit older game, but worthy of your attention without a doubt. The plot is set in an open-world Paris. You can climb the Eiffel Tower, snipe from Notre Dame Cathedral, and brawl on the Champs-Élysées as you sabotage your enemies. You will have to fight, climb, and prowl through the dark alleys, rooftops, burlesque houses, and seedy streets. Motivated by retribution and armed with tactics of sabotage, you will blow up zeppelins, derail trains, implode bridges, destroy armored tanks, and level enemy facilities in the name of vengeance in Nazi-occupied Europe. Here, being the Saboteur is all about attacking while staying unnoticed. You will get your mission intel at underground clubs and cabarets, eliminate your adversaries with stealth attacks, disguise, distractions, and explosives. Also master a variety of weapons, automobiles, and skills to sabotage enemy operations. It's a fantastic game, absolute cult classic, and a must-play for every action fan. Assassin's Creed Unity. Game is set in the city of Paris during one of its darkest hours. The French Revolution is in action. Here you will do all the usual Assassin's Creed stuff and take part in one of the most important moments of French history by participating in the events that shape the city of today. If the game's franchise would be naming its titles by numbers, this would be Assassin's Creed 8. So yeah, they have been baking these like cookies for almost 2 decades now. But keeping in mind that Assassin's Creed Unity is more than 10 years old, the graphics are quite impressive and the gameplay is enjoyable despite some minor control issues. The biggest issue whatsoever is that it requires the Ubisoft launcher, and if it is down, you can't play the game. Also, the co-op feature that is kinda famous here is plagued with connection bugs and errors. It's a nice game, but I have warned you for a reason. 5 Nations. If StarCraft was mockingly called a Warcraft in space, then 5 Nations should be called a Warcraft in space, because it is following the same gameplay formula as Blizzard games, but everything is happening, you know, in space. But don't worry, this is not some grand strategy game or something like a Homeworld where the distances are huge and everything is happening super slow. No, in 5 Nations the background is space, but all the action is the same as an old good base builder RTSs. The game gets little attention because it's an indie game and they have no money to make a huge advertising campaigns. I found it just because I was especially looking for games like StarCraft, and it still took me an hour to get to this game. But now it may become a bit more popular because other YouTubers tend to copy my lists. Great thing is that you can play the demo version on Steam absolutely free and check it out with your own eyes. Although it's not easy to see where to download it. Look in the right column above information about languages and you will see the download button. 5 Nations managed to stay true to old school gameplay, voiceovers, and even writing style, and that is great. South Park: The Stick of Truth. From the perilous battlefields of the 4th Great Playground, a young hero will rise, destined to be the South Park's savior. For 1,000 years, the battle has been waged. The sole reason humans and elves are locked in a never-ending war is the Stick of Truth. But the tides of war are soon to change as word of a new kid spreads throughout the land, his coming foretold by the stars. Anyway, he'll arm yourself with the weapons of legend to defeat underpants gnomes, hippies, vegans, and other forces of evil. If you succeed in your perilous mission, you shall become South Park's savior. And if you fail, you will forever be known, you know, whoever you are right now. No offense. Remember Me. This is an action-adventure where you will take on a role of a former elite memory hunter with the ability to break into people's minds and steal or even alter their memories. What is more cyberpunk than that, huh? So the authorities, fearful of your knowledge and capabilities, arrested you and wiped your memory clean. After the escape from prison, you set out on a mission to recover your identity. This search for the past will lead you to being hunted by the very people that created this surveillance society. The action is set in a Paris of the future, so get ready for a very cool environment. People are saying that the game has an interesting story, and even if it's a bit older, graphics are still kinda decent. Katana ZERO. This is a stylish neo-noir action platformer featuring instant death combat. You may ask, who will be instantly dying, you or your enemies? Well, that is a matter of your skills. If you suck as a gamer, you know the answer already. So here you'll slash, dash and manipulate time to unravel your past and leave the trail of blood and intestines everywhere you go. The pace of the game somehow reminded me of Hotline Miami. Super fast action where you will have to time your attacks perfectly or, you know, you die. People on Steam are saying that the only bad thing about this game is that it ends. And now, thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.